Well, hey YouTube. I guess this is my formal introduction into the Supercross slash motocross talk show podcast space. I been wanting to do this for a while, but I don't know, just things here and there. Haven't really done it, but all this hype around A1 and just content the past month of Supercross and all the hype leading up, I figured now was a great time to do it because it's the night before, and figured I should start my journey. I raced motocross from age 5 to 22, 21, 22, somewhere in there. So did this sport my whole life and raced with some of these guys that we're going to talk about today. And yeah, just avid. I mean, I treat this sport like a religion, so watch it, love it, breathe it. It's kind of one of those things that once you do it, you're just kind of hooked on it for life. So anyways, my name's Dwayne. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this channel, but just my first video, I guess. So I thought, I've been seeing a lot of different material covered on Supercross season and who's gonna win and predictions and stuff, but I wanted to do something different and just do a tier list for the whole season. And this is for, this is treated as that these people aren't going to get injured and that they're going to have an opportunity to prove themselves over the 17 rounds that we're going to see of Supercross. So yeah, my name's Dwayne, and let's get on into it. So, starting with AC, that's a tough one to start with because Adam would have been, I guess if you can count when you graduate from amateurs to pros, if I were to go pro, Adam would have been in my class, I guess, like that. I think Adam went pro in 2013, and I would have been right around that time, 2014, I think is about when I would have went pro, if I would have been good enough, obviously. If I was, I would be racing tomorrow and not commentating it, but I have a lot of respect for Adam. Love the dude, raced him, I think, twice in my life. Got fucking smoked by him, but nevertheless, always had a huge amount of respect for him. Always looked up to him as a kid, just someone who, around my age, that was incredibly fast, as well as Cooper Webb. AC this year, though. Last year was his building year, as he talked about, and the media talked about a lot. Where do I put Adam? I think that Adam gets top 5s for sure. Top 10s, easy. Does he make a podium? He had one last year after Eli. I think it was actually the race that Eli got hurt, and after Coop got hurt. But before that, when the class is a little more stacked and wasn't leaned out like it is, towards the end of every season, Adam's best finish, I think, was 6th, maybe. I guess I had to stat check it. Either way. So maybe a podium. I guess I'll put him in top 5s. I should change this actually right now. We'll do maybe podium / top 5s. Hopefully this video is not super long, but it could be because I like to ramble. Like I said, love this sport, so yeah, I think I'll put him there. He might get a podium, definitely top 5s, and he's better than top 10s for sure. AP is kind of in that same area as Adam for me. I think that I would put him above Adam because obviously he almost won last year at, I think that was Denver. Love AP. I try and go about this sport and obviously this video with no bias. I love most of these guys. Watch them ride. Anyone that can ride a dirt bike at a professional level, I just love to see it. AP though, I would say I'm gonna put him one above Adam, and I think that AP might be able to get it done. If he has another one of those rides like he did last year, it's very, very possible. I guess I'll put him there for now. I might rearrange it once we get everyone in here and whatnot. But yeah, for there for now. He might win. He'll have a podium or two. Definitely a top 5 guy. So yeah, Benny Bloss. Hopefully you guys can see these little icons, but if you can't, this is Benny Bloss. I'll kind of commentate as we go. But Benny Bloss, I'm gonna put him in wild card. I don't really. I know Benny, but I haven't seen him a whole lot in recent years, and nothing of notable. I know he's better outdoors, it seems. Yeah, I'm just gonna put him in wild card. This wild card is kind of like maybe sneaks in a top 10 here and there, but for the most part, this is kind of like your 15 to 22, or not 15, 11 to 22 area. So yeah, I'm gonna leave him there. Christian Craig, this is another hard one. Last year was pretty underwhelming for Christian. I know it was a new bike. I know that, obviously got hurt too, and it was kind of his first year trying to figure things out. If he makes improvements, I think he can definitely get top 5s at least one round. But for now, I'm just gonna stick him in top 10s. And that means he's not going to get top 10 every week, but he will be getting, a 7th and a 1 round, and then maybe a 9th, and then maybe a 15th, and then maybe a 6th, and, that kind of rider. So I should have maybe explained the tier list, but either way. Colt Nichols, I'm going to put him in wild card because I believe that he announced a few days ago that he will be sitting out for a while, or until his injury. I guess he had a practice crash and that he's injured, so I'm just going to leave him wild card. If he comes back healthy, I could see him being kind of where Craig is. Great starter. We saw that last year on the HRC Honda. But yeah, I'll leave him wild card for now. Dylan Ferrandis. I think that I'm going to put him in with Adam. I think he may be podiums, but he's definitely going to be like that 5 to 10 range. Yeah, that's tough, but I think that's where he's gonna have to go. He definitely will get your typical, 8s, maybe a 6th, but I could sneak up and get a 4th. Depends on the night. This class is insane this year, so I guess I'll leave him right there with Adam. Hunter Lawrence. This is a tough one too. I want to put him up with AP because he doesn't really have a whole lot to prove. And that sounds strange being a rookie coming in the class, but if you think about these other guys like Webb, Tomac, Kenny, Barsha, Anderson, all these older dudes that, their time is, kind of weaning, or they're in their later stages of their career. I feel like personally they have a lot more to prove this year than the younger guys, because people like Jett and Chase, Chase has a little more to prove because he's got the number 1 plate and he has to prove that he deserves that, which with things that happened last year, I'm not going to say anything about it, but we all know what happened, and I think that people are putting a lot of pressure on him to prove that he can win and be a champion. For Hunter, he doesn't have much to prove, and I think that he comes in with that mindset, and that there could be a night where he hole shots, and maybe, for instance, Jett's behind him, or somebody's like Dylan, or just where he's comfortable riding, and I think he could go up and get a podium. So I'm going to put him in a podium spot. Not really a win necessarily, maybe, potentially, but it had to be pretty circumstantial. But I say he could get a podium. Maybe I'll put him with Adam then. I think that he goes in front of Adam, though, in my opinion. Just my opinion. This is all just my opinion, so don't come for my head in the comments. But anyways, this one is Jorge Prado. If you guys don't know, Jorge is not going to be racing all 17 rounds, but he's here for the first 3. But I put him in here because I want to make a prediction on if he were to race all 17. If you guys don't know who he is, he's coming over from Europe. He is won, I believe, 2 MX2 championships, and he just won the MXGP championship. Incredibly fast, incredibly good starter, and from what I've seen from over the past few months, he looks pretty decent on Supercross. I know that Europeans come over and tend to struggle with things like whoops. We saw that with Vial last year, but his starts are something else. I mean, if you go back in this past GP season, he hole shotted, I would say probably 40% of the hole shots. I mean, the dude can start on a dirt bike, and I think that plays a huge role in Supercross. So it's not a wild card. I could put him there just because we don't know, but I want to make a prediction. I would say that if he stayed, he would be somewhere in here with AP. That's just my hunch, and I do believe he plans on coming over for 2025 and racing, full-time. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to leave him there. I think there's a lot of potential for Horia. He's only, I believe, 22, so he's really not much older than Jett, and right around the same age as, in that same age group as Hunter and Chase and Justin Cooper. So speaking of Justin Cooper, J. Coop. J. Coop's a good starter too. I think I would probably have to throw him. He had some good results last year, even though he was only here for a limited time. I think I'm going to throw him in with top 10s with Christian Craig. I think he's better than Craig. I just think that I don't really know a whole lot about Justin on a 450. I obviously have seen him race a bunch on 250s, but 450s last year he looked good in certain areas, and but I don't know if he has. I don't have enough information on him to tell you if he's going to go out and beat AP, Adam Cincerillo, Dylan Ferrandis, and then we're not even mentioning Tomac, Chase, the whole 9 yards. So I'm just going to leave him in top 10s. I'm also going to put, this is Justin Hill. I'm also going to put him there. I think that Justin, he had a podium last year. Yes, the class was, again, weaned out and people were injured and yada, yada, yada. Justin Hill, though, has speed for sure at times. Yeah, I think that he can squeak in a top 10, maybe multiple throughout the year. He definitely is a champion at one point, 250 champion. I probably, was that 2016, 2015, somewhere in there. So yeah, I think that he can get some top 10s, and he will run up in that, 8 to 13 range. Chiz, I don't know if he squeaks in a top 10. I know he's a veteran. I know people love him. He was kind of the class, kind of like what Tomac and Malcolm and Jason Anderson, Barsha, they were like the seniors when I was like a freshman, we'll say, in school terms of motocross. So I kind of watched those guys growing up, and everyone loves Chiz, but I just don't think he's going to squeak in top 10. Just my opinion, personally. I'm also going to throw Shane in there. I just don't think this group has, if everyone stays healthy, that, which is obviously never going to happen, but theoretically, I think that this is where they're generally going to be in terms of, placements and stuff. So yeah, we got heavy hitters left. We'll do Malcolm. I'm gonna throw Malcolm in with AP and Prado. I think he goes in front of AP and Prado. I'm leaving Prado in the back because, again, he's not racing all the rounds with us. But I'm not worried about that wild card. Either way, yeah, Malcolm. I think he's just got the speed. He's just got to stay healthy. He has the speed to win for sure, and definitely podium. I mean, he's proven that. Just got to stay healthy. If he can make it, past 2 rounds this year, that'd be great. I know he feels like he said in press conference earlier today that he feels like he got gypped of his season last year, and I think he did. He had a lot of potential last year. A1 was exciting as hell last year. I cannot wait for tomorrow night. And he was the forefront of that excitement last year. So I think he's got, if he can stay healthy, that he's got a lot. His ceiling is very high. I'll say that. So yeah, he might squeak out a win. Definitely podium though, I would say. And I'm gonna put obviously Anderson in there with him. I don't know. Do I consider Anderson a contender though, with multiple wins and podiums? I would say yes, based on a few things. Number one, 2 years ago, so 2022, he was racking off wins. I think he got 7 that year, that season. The first year was on Kawi, and was ripping. And there was sparks of that last year. Talks of, he had some bike issues and he just wasn't comfortable and the whole 9 yards. If we don't, it's kind of a toss-up. If we see that side of him from last year, I think he's in the maybe win, but he gets some podiums. But if we see 2022, which I'm hoping for, I'll say, I think I put him in a contender with, some wins and podiums and stuff. And I think I'll put Barsha in there too. Barsha was ripping last year. Probably the best year that he's had in 450, which is crazy. If you look at Barsha's history in the sport, especially in the 450 class, it's crazy. His, when he went into the 450 class, I think it was 2013? 2015? Oh gosh, it's so long ago. But, it came in, just, rookie season was crazy. And then it just, dips all the way down to when he was riding for, JGR Suzuki, and he was, barely making top 10s. And then now you look at him again, and he's at, the peak of his career. It's he's got such a wild history in the sport, but he's looking good. He looked really good last year. He had some good showings a little bit in motocross, and yeah, I think that he'll be solid and definitely contend for wins and stuff. I'm gonna put these two in as well, just right now. Coop and Kenny, they're I'm treating them the same in terms of results, but for different reasons. I think Kenny will always be there to, if someone makes a mistake, he'll be sitting in 4th and mistakes happen, or he'll be in 5th and 2 people get into a heated battle for podium and he just sneaks in. He's kind of just always there in the background waiting to strike. Coop is the same way in a sense, but Coop can also have those nights where he just comes out of nowhere and just bulldogs his way from 7th to 2nd or from 10th to 3rd. So I'm going to put those two in the same spot. Oh gosh, for position wise and with these three, I think I put Coop at the very front though. Come on, why is it not? There we go, that's fine. I'll go Coop, Kenny, Anderson, Barsha. Do I like that? I think I like that. We're going kind of left to right, being, my ranking officially of these guys, I guess. Now these three, oof. These have been the whole talk, I guess, right, of the past 2 months. I'm gonna go out and say it. I think that Eli actually wins the championship for a number of reasons. I think, again, he's kind of like Malcolm in the sense that his season got gypped, but Eli's is 10 times worse. Not saying that Malcolm's obviously getting hurt and not being able to race sucks, and obviously you would feel like you got gypped, but when you're leading when you're in the points lead and you have a freak accident like your, Achilles basically shredding and snapping with 2 rounds to go, and you have almost a whole race worth of points lead on the 2nd place guy, I mean, that's devastating. And I think that we all know Eli. He feeds off of just, I don't know how do you even describe Eli Tomac's energy? Just this dude that is gonna do whatever the hell it takes to win. And when you add in that I should have won that championship, I think he's going to be a force to reckon with this year. And it's kind of a weird thing because Eli kind of doesn't post on any social media, doesn't update people on what's been going on with him. But he comes out swinging. And yes, he's had those years where, slow start, with Kawasaki and all that stuff. And sometimes he had, nights where he placed 10th in some main events. But since he hopped on Yamaha, I mean, the dude, look at him at A1 last year, just passed all the way to first, fell, and then passed all the way back up to first, and then won. And that's a completely different Tomac. Last year, Tomac was on top of the world, I think. And I think that he wants redemption for that, and I think that he wins. I put him over Jett because I think that Jett, being his rookie year, he has not raced any of these guys besides... Did he race Chase? I don't even know if he raced Chase. He definitely raced Dylan in 250s, but I think Chase was out by that point. Oh, and obviously Jay Coop and his brother. So I guess he has raced these guys, but I'm talking about people like Eli Tomac and Kenny. No, he's raced Kenny a little bit, but Kenny Coop, he hasn't raced them over 17 rounds, and I don't know if he can beat those guys. I'll put Chase in there, obviously, with them, because I'm only going to claim one champion. But I think that he's just going to have a few off nights that are worse than others, and I think that he kind of has a target on his back for people like Anderson and Barsha and even Coop to get a little rough with them and put him on the ground. I'm just going to be honest. I just don't think that I think he knows what he's going into, but I don't know if he knows how people are going to react. When these competitors have a fresh meat, I guess, and this new guy comes in like Jett is, and he comes in with all this hype, and they're not looking at, the media and stuff is giving him all the attention. Obviously, they want to knock him down a peg. I mean, that's just being a competitor. So I think that they rough him up a little bit. And it's going to be a different class for him. It's not going to be 250s where he can get a 10th place start and then, a bad start and then come through in 2 laps and be in second place. He might have a night like that, but I don't think it's going to happen too often. So, Jett could win it. By far, between Jett and Tomac, Chase, even Coop, hell, I'd even say Kenny or Anderson. Any of them could win it, technically. I mean, it's going to be close, and it's going to be, again, up to health and things like that. Bad nights, managing your, being consistent this season is probably more important than any other season ever in history. This is the most stacked I think that the class has ever been. I'll be the first to say that. So, yeah, any of these guys could win the championship. Okay, let's put this in order. Chase, I think I actually put him behind Webb. Love Chase, but I don't know. That's tough. Maybe I put him in front of Webb. I think Webb has a lot to prove, and I think that he's kind of like Tomac in that sense. They're champions for a reason. Obviously, like I just said, Chase is also a champion. Chase has got crazy speed. If he can stay off the ground, he wins the championship, I think, in my opinion. I think I'll just stay with this. Anyways, this is my tier list. I'm so excited for tomorrow, and if you guys enjoyed, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see where this goes and takes off. When we get a following, I'll continue to make stuff. Maybe I'll make a 251. Anyways, yep, enjoy the race tomorrow. See ya.